Hey everyone, Mo here, and before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that my schedule has opened up for me to do coaching again. So if you're interested in private one-on-one coaching for me to help you, whether you're a newer player and you want to excel at the game very quickly and learn the fundamentals without developing any bad habits early, or if you're an experienced player who's already maybe platinum or diamond in your top 1%, but you need some help filling in the gap to get you to that 0.01%, to make you just some of the best, then hit me up on Discord and I can get you in some private one-on-one coaching lessons to help you polish up any skills you want to refine and help you learn all of the secrets to becoming a top player. That's it. I hope you enjoy the video.
Hey everybody, Mo here, and in this video I'm bringing you guys 5 brand new decks, well, mostly new decks, you could play in the new expansion coming up with new champions in every one of these decks that are being released. So I have a deck for Ahri, Kennen, Pantheon, and Rumble. So if you're looking to play any of those champions, I got a deck here for you. I tried to include decks that I thought were kind of unique and not just the super standard, like Kennen Ezreal or Ahri Elusive with Fizz or something, and the like super standard decks you're going to see on everybody's list and everybody's like mobalytics page and deck list and all that type of stuff. I wanted to include more unique decks that I thought were extremely fun to play during early access, and that I'll be playing myself a lot on stream, and I'll probably make a video on each one of these, but I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments below. So let me know in the comments if any one of these decks stick out to you and you're like, wow, that deck sounds really cool. Can you please make a YouTube video on it or show us some of the gameplay on it? So that's it for the intro. Before we get into the video, I want to remind you guys that 60% of the people that watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to me. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button and leave a comment letting me know again what type of content you like seeing from me. It helps me out so much with the YouTube algorithm, and it really helps me out with giving you guys the content you deserve. We're trying to hit 5,000 subs by the end of the year to start 2022 off extremely strong, and we're really close to that. So if just a couple more people could hit that button every video, we'd easily be able to get there before January. So that's it for the shell out intro. Let's get into these 5 decks. So I'm going to start off with the most biased one, the deck I had the most fun with in early access. I played this deck for literally 2 hours. Like, it was almost like a fifth of my stream. Playing this one deck, and it's Ahri, Lulu, Elusives, I guess. So it's Ahri, Lulu, discard. And basically what this deck does is it abuses the fact that you get a 0-mana challenger with Flame Chompers. If you guys recall, there was a deck called, that was Lulu Jinx a while back, and that essentially did the same thing, but it was more of a burn aggro style deck. And because you're not playing Jinx, you get to play Ahri. You don't have to play a bunch of really awkward cards like the Experimenter that discards your hand. You don't have to try to empty your hand. You can keep cards in your hand and draw a bunch of cards, which is what you get to do with things like Droplet, Zonite Urchin. Like, go Ahri, recall a Droplet, draw a card. You know, play the Droplet Conspirator, draw a card. You actually get to maintain card tempo while playing this deck out, and that feels a lot better than having to find ways to dump your entire hand or one of your champions is useless. So that's one of the reasons why to play it. The biggest reason, and the reason that really intrigued me, that one of my people in chat named Gen X Talia, he suggested the fact that Ahri works with Flame Chompers. And I was like, if you attack with Ahri and have Flame Chompers on the right side of Ahri, whenever she flips over, she basically gets to challenge whatever unit you want. So if you have Ahri and the where's it at here? Ahri and the Flame Chompers in play, you're essentially giving Ahri challengers. So now you have this 2/3 quick attack challenger on turn 2 even. Like, you can have it as early as turn 2. And obviously you guys know that Fleet Feather Tracker into Young Witch was broken because you had a quick attack unit on turn 2. Well, now you have Ahri, which is a 2/3 quick attack unit on turn 2, and it bounces the Flame Chompers back into your hand, so you have infinite discard fodder. So let's say you Zonite Urchin turn 1, discard Flame Chompers. Play Ahri turn 2, you can bounce the Flame Chompers back into your hand after killing one of your opponent's units, and then you now have that Flame Chompers for a future Rummage, or another Zonite Urchin, or a Poro Cannon, or something like that. So you have infinite discard fodder. This is an elusive deck that beats all of the other elusive decks because you do have this challenger quick attack combo, so you get to kill any of their elusives they have in play, or any of their smaller champions. Like, if they play Kennen, you just go, okay, challenge it, you kill it with Ahri. If they have any smaller elusives, like if they have their own droplet, or if they're playing maybe something like the Green Glade duo and you want to make sure you kill that because you don't want to take too much damage, then you can challenge that. On top of being able to challenge with quick attack your opponent's elusives, you are also playing elusives, so you get to block all of their elusives. You're not just in this one-sided battle of racing them down. You actually have the choice to go ahead and block them. All of that to be said, that's just with Ahri. Lulu does the same thing as well as Suit Up. Is if you have the Flame Chompers Lulu combo, that's a really old combo. As one of the older tricks in the book. You just discard the Flame Chompers, boom. Now you just have a regular ass 4/4 challenger unit. If you have Suit Up with Ahri, then now you can give Ahri Suit Up, and now you have a 4/4 quick attack challenger unit, which is even better than the old Lulu Flame Chompers, and now you have Suit Up Ahri Flame Chompers. And it just is a really easy way to take control of the early game board while still applying a bunch of that elusive pressure that a lot of people like to use to win. So that was a lot, because I really love this deck, and I will for sure be making videos on it. And it is my favorite deck so far of the new cards and the new expansion that I got to play in early access. The next deck we're going to talk about here is Draven Pantheon. So, Draven Pantheon, this is my favorite version to play Pantheon. And again, I know this isn't going to be the standard play Dragons, play Demacia, play Pantheon version, but I didn't want to give a really boring version of the deck that everyone else is going to be making. This is the version I like. You guys know I like Noxus. You know I like Draven. So this was the version that I like playing. This was made by a friend of mine named Shadox. He actually made all but like 2 of these decks that I'm going to show you guys. So shout out to him. He's an amazing deck builder. I did change a couple things out, like I added Mentor Stones. But basically the goal of this deck is to just abuse the Fated keyword and use interactions with like Whirling Death to have some type of Overwhelm lethal. So you see here like Startled Stomper has Overwhelm. You have the Pantheon gets Overwhelmed. Ancient Warmonger technically has Overwhelm, and you can buff it up really big if you need to, or it's just really good discard fodder. Iron Ballista has Overwhelm. So the way you're supposed to play this deck out is you get your units really big, and then if you don't have pump spells for the Fated units, you use the pump spells on your Overwhelm units, and then you just win with some type of like Whirling Death Overwhelm type of win. And then Mentor Stones, of course, is really good. I think Mentor Stones is probably the most underrated card in Pantheon right now. Or just period. If you play Mentor Stones on 3 into a Pantheon or a Dragon or something on turn 4, then they either have to, 1, kill the Mentor of Stones, because if they don't, you attack and you give your unit +2/+2 permanently, and then they still have to deal with the Mentor of Stones later. Or they kill the Mentor of Stones, and then now you have 3 gems, and that's 3 different Fated targets. That's 3 different times that you're allowed to level up your Pantheon now, and that gives a lot of value there. So I think Mentor Stones is one of the most slept-on cards in Pantheon decks, and I highly recommend you try it out. Also, this version of Pantheon is a lot easier to play than a lot of the Demacia versions, because a lot of the Dragon Demacia style versions force you to play spells proactively on Pantheon and the Dragon, the Wounded White Flame. But in this deck, you can play spells proactively like the Spinning Axe, or sometimes you get a spell off of Spacey Sketcher or use a lot of gems. This version is very, very gem heavy. If you see, we play, again, Mentors, Mountain Goats. I even considered putting in the 1-mana Gem Girl or a 3rd Mentor Stones. And gems are extremely easy to play proactively, whereas sometimes a Stand Together or a Pale Cascade or something like that can't be that easy to play proactively. So this deck is going to be a lot easier to play if you just want to play Pantheon, and it's really, really fun for me because I like the overall aspect to it. Deck number 3 is the Infinite Combo deck. For those of you that are maybe new to the game, this concept is not new. It's been around one time before this, and basically what you used to do is you used to play a bunch of combo pieces, and you would infinitely loop like Navori Conspirators whenever you have a leveled Akshan. So you would pop Warlord's Horde like infinite amount of times, make all of your cards cost 0 mana, you would play a Zillion, and you would just play infinite time bombs. Because eventually your deck would just have only time bombs, because you can just infinitely bounce the Zillion. You put 50 time bombs into your deck, and you just sit there and you just shuffle through time bomb after time bomb after time bomb. You play 20 time bombs in a row, and that kills your opponent. They nerfed that interaction by forcing you to only play 15 of the same. You can only play the same card 15 times in a turn. So what that did was that stopped you from playing 20 time bombs. That stopped you from playing 20 Blade Dance Girls. It basically stopped every win condition this deck had because of that limit of the 15 cards. The reason they did that wasn't necessarily to stop the infinite combo, but it was to stop people from holding you hostage. Because if they didn't have a win condition, they could just sit there and bounce 2 Navori Conspirators forever. They could literally sit there for forever and just bounce these 2 units until you conceded to them. And they obviously didn't want that to happen, so they limited how many times you could play stuff. Unfortunately, that also nerfed the infinite win condition and made it so it's not possible. Fast forward to where we have Ahri now. And Ahri, how she works whenever she's leveled up is when she's leveled up and she strikes, she swaps to the right. Every time, each time she strikes the enemy nexus. Or actually, really just each time she strikes, she swaps to the right. So you can get Ahri big enough to basically just swap all the way over to the right with elusives. So the reason this can win now is because you don't have to play the same card 15 times in a row to win. Your Ahri will always be leveled up because of the amount of times you have to recall things to level the Akshan and the Akshan combo. And because of that, you just play Ahri. Once you get to the Warlord's Horde, you can actually pick the Shield of Sentinels. That'll give Ahri +2/+2. So that'll make her 5 power. So if you have Ahri and just 3 other elusives, most of the time you'll have a full board of elusives. You swing and Ahri just hits your opponent 4 times for 20 damage. And she spell shield, so your opponent can't do anything about it most of the time. And yeah, so that's how this works. If you've never played Infinite Combo before, I'm not going to go super in-depth on how to play the deck unless you guys are interested in this a deck guide specifically for this deck, but I will just give you a just like the very, very base level of how the combo works. So you get Akshan leveled up. Okay, once you have Warlord's Horde out, you play where's it at? You play Promising Future on Warlord's Horde. Then you pop the Warlord's Horde. Once you pop Warlord's Horde with the Promising Future, you'll get 2 Sentinel's Hordes. You use both of these on Font of Power. This will make every card cost 2 less, and you'll refill your hand because you'll draw 4 cards, and all of your cards will cost 2 less. Because your cards cost 2 less for the entire turn, Navori Conspirators now cost 0 mana. Your Akshans now cost 0 mana. Your Clockwork Curators now cost 0 mana. And your Solitary Monks only cost 1 mana. So what you do from this point is you basically sit there and you just loop Conspirators over and over and over again until you pop Akshans, until you pop Warlord's Horde for a 3rd time. Once you popped it for a 3rd time, you Fount of Power, make everything cost 1 less. Now your Solitary Monk costs 0 mana, and as soon as you make Solitary Monk cost 0 mana, you just infinitely recall allies and draw cards with things like Dancing Droplet. And you just infinitely draw cards, as well as obviously you can pop Warlord's Horde again and just continue to sit here and draw 2 cards at a time until you find that Ahri, and then you can just play Ahri, get her big enough to strike, and then do what I just said where you strike with a bunch of elusive units and then Ahri just OTKs your opponent. So that is the very, very floor level on how to play the deck. If you guys are interested in an in-depth guide with a bunch of gameplay on it, I will make one, but I do not have time for that in this video at all. It's very complicated deck. The base combo is not very complicated, but actually piloting the deck can be extremely hard sometimes. So yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. The next deck is our Kennen deck. We have Kennen Elise, and this is some spicy stuff right here. I told you, you guys know I'm the aggro gamer. You came here for the aggro stuff. So this deck is not your mama's Kennen deck. That's what it's going to be called. It's not your little Kennen Ezreal. Oh, I'm going to shoot you a couple times. I'm going to level up my champion. I'm going to play some removal spells. Ooh, recall my Kennen because I get scared. No, we're going in. We play like all of the Fearsome units. This is basically just Fearsomes on steroids. So you play all of the Miswraiths, and that levels Kennen for you. And then once you have a leveled Kennen, you can just spam his 0 mana removal spell for free, and it's not very balanced at all. But the really fun idea here is that you just get to spam all of your Miswraiths. Fearsome is an amazing keyword. If you noticed, all the champions they released, Ahri, 2 attack, Kennen, 2 attack, all the elusive units, 2 attack, all the Yorls they printed, 2 attack. So Fearsome is a humongous keyword right now. It is a really, really good keyword. And being able to play things like Godwillow Seedling on a Wraithcaller is broken. You play Wraithcaller, you bounce it back to your hand, you summon another Mistwraith. In 2 turns, you get another free Mistwraith because of how Seedling works. And it's absolutely nuts. The Fearsome keyword can just rush your opponent down way faster than they know how to deal with. And then on top of all of that, you can use Kennen in the late game as this sort of just, oh, I'm going to freely remove your units because for some reason, Riot thought that 0 mana fast speed removal spells was a good idea. So I am really excited for this deck. I think this deck is super sick. This is in my opinion, the coolest deck that I've seen all day in early access. Like, I've seen a bunch of different decks, like little quirky decks, but I think this is by far the coolest deck to me and all of early access, so I had to include it on the list for you guys. And the final deck we're going to talk about, number 5, has a little asterisk by it because I will warn you guys. Fair warning. 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 This deck is horrible. This deck is not good. But when it works, it's a lot of fun. So, unfortunately, every Rumble deck right now is basically the same. They're all just Rumble and Scion or Rumble Draven, discard. There's basically just Draven, Scion, discard, but then you throw Rumble in there and you throw a couple mechs in there and you have fun with it. Right, so you have to decide, is the current discard Scion package, like Draven Scion package, better or worse than the Mecha Yordle package with Rumble? No one knows yet because no one's had enough time. But if you look up a list, you'll find the exact same list 110,000 million times. So I wanted to give you guys, again, some size, some spice, something different. So the idea behind this deck, and we've all seen it before, is Rumble Shiraza. These cards deal a lot of damage, and you just play nothing but pump spells. And your goal is to just kill your opponent on turn 5. This is a lot more doable now with Rumble because you can discard 3 cards and your Rumble gets Spell Shield. So it doesn't get stopped by things like a single mini-morph or by a lot of spells because the Spell Shield stops a lot of that. So what you ideally do is you're attacking on odds. On turn 4, you play Rumble. You discard a Scion to give Rumble Overwhelm. You can discard Warmonger. It gives Rumble +2/+0. And you really just discard anything else. So you want to discard 3 cards with Rumble. Hopefully one of them is Scion and one is Ancient Warmonger. Or, you know, multiple are Ancient Warmonger. That's fine. And then after that, your Rumble's going to get Impact, Quick Attack, and Spell Shield. And you can Flurry of Fist him because he has Quick Attack. So if you go Ancient Warmonger Scion onto the Rumble, that puts him at 7 damage and an impact with Overwhelm. If you Flurry of Fist, that makes you deal 18 damage unblocked, and then any single pump spell will win you the game. So if you go Flurry of Fist into Wrath of God, or Twin, or Might, or Ghost, or anything like that most of the time, that will give you a turn 5 lethal. You can also do it on Shiraza. The problem with Shiraza is she's a lot smaller than Rumble, and she's easier to kill. 1, because she's a follower, and 2, because she's not going to have Spell Shield. However, I didn't want to put only Rumble in the deck, so I put Rumble, Shiraza, and I even put Horn of the Dragon, so you have 3 different pieces to kind of combo off with. If you hard mulligan for Rumble and Shiraza every game, which you should be doing, you have a 90% chance to hit either a Rumble or a Shiraza, at least 1 copy of these units by turn 4. So 90% of the time you will have a unit to play on turn 4. However, again, this deck literally plays no other units. So if your opponent is an aggro deck, they're probably going to kill you. If your opponent doesn't kill you by turn 5, you can probably kill them by turn 5. Easily kill them by turn 6, because means you got to attack on turn 4 with your Rumble or your Shiraza, and you get to turn on turn 6, and then Rumble, like Flurry of Fist, Might, or something like that, and should usually kill your opponent with that. So again, this deck is not the greatest deck. It's not actually that bad, because you can consistently get a 4-drop by turn 4, a 90% chance. But it's by no means like a tier 1 deck, so if you use this on ranked ladder, know that you will lose more than you'll win, but know that when you do win, it will be extremely satisfying, and it will be a lot of fun. So yeah, so let me know again in the comments what decks you guys are playing. If it wasn't something I mentioned here on the top 5, leave your decks down in the comments below so other people can check them out. And if you're new to LOR, or if you're looking for new decks to play, and, you know, maybe none of these 5 fit your fancy, again, check the comments down below and see if there's anyone posted a deck that you might like. If you want to see a video on any of these 5 decks specifically, or really any deck from the new set that you thought of that someone else might have made, let me know in the comments and I'll make a deck guide on it and I'll make some gameplay on it. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These are my 5 new decks to play in the newest expansion, and I'll see you guys in the next video.